All right, guys, we are going to talk about today's lesson on angles and classifying angles. This should be a review from previous years, but in case we forgot some of our definitions and ways to measure, we're going to take a look at this today. So let's start with our guided practice. There are some important benchmark angles that you should be familiar with. Below is a merry-go-round. Okay, so we're going to talk about the angles that, like, whenever you see them, you should pretty much know what they are. So in a full turn, how many degrees does the initial ray rotate? So if I were to go all the way around, and of course this is not super easy to draw the circle on, and make a full turn, this would be a 360-degree angle. Okay. Now if I were to go a half turn around, moving over here, and I stopped here and I drew a nice little line there, this would be a 180-degree angle. Okay, so a full circle turn is a 360-degree angle. A half circle or a straight line is a 180-degree angle. Moving down, let's say we made a quarter turn. So I'm on my merry-go-round and I go down to here. Bring this down. Make this a nicer line. Okay. So this would be a right angle. Now, in order to let any reader know that I had a right angle, I would have to put this little box right here. I'll trace it over in red so you see what I mean. I would have to put this little box to indicate a right angle, 90 degrees, or in the question, I would have to say below you have a right angle. So I would have to be very clear that this was a right angle. I wouldn't, you don't want anybody to assume that you have a right angle because the difference between a 90-degree angle and an 89-degree angle and a 91-degree angle is not super perceptible without a protractor. So that's why we want to make sure we label it every time we want somebody to assume it. Now let's say we go around 3/4 of the way. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to hit my 90-degree angle. I'm going to hit my 180. And then I'm going to come up here, boom. And this would get me to 270. And the way that I would know I was measuring this outer angle and not the inner angle is I would draw my circle like this on the outside. Right, so where I see the circle is where I'm going to measure my angle, and that's a 270-degree angle. And again, these are angles that you just need to know when you see them. Let's move on, and we're going to talk about the different angle classifications. And you guys have those in a poster that I made on the wall, and it's going to be there. I'll take it down before the IA, but it's going to be there till the IA. So you can use that as a reference. But when I have an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Okay, so if I have an angle that kind of looks like this, all right, or if I have one even like a little bit less than 90 degrees, or if I have a very tiny angle, that, okay. And the way that we would notate this is I would say 0 degrees, all right, is less than X, is less than 90 degrees, and that's kind of the fancy way of saying that an acute angle is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, okay, but it's, all right. Now my straight angle, is 180 degrees, so X is equal to 180 degrees, and that's a straight line. And again, you would need to be told if you have a straight angle. You can't assume a straight angle because the difference between a 180-degree angle and a 179-degree angle and a 181-degree angle is also very hard to perceive without having a measuring tool. My right angle, we've discussed, boom, boom. my arrow here, and of course I don't know it's really right until I put that box, and so we're going to say x is equal to 90 degrees, right. All right, a reflex angle is an angle that is over 180 degrees. So if I have my arrow here, okay, and then I were to say all the way around to here, and again, the reason I know it's a reflex angle is because I have this circle here on the outside indicating that that's the angle that I want to measure. All right, and so a reflex angle is anything that is more than 180 degrees, but less than 360 degrees. All right, my obtuse angle. My obtuse angle is between a right angle and a straight line. So if I had an angle that kind of looked like this, okay, and here's I know that I'm measuring it in here, and I know that it is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And finally, a full angle is when I've gone all the way around, and we'll see I have my kind of my circle all the way around here. So I've made that full rotation around the merry-go-round. So my full angle is equal to 360 degrees. All right, so make sure you keep these angle classifications somewhere in your notebook. I'm going to have them on the wall. You can come back to this video if you need a review, but we want to make sure we know what these are. All right, let's head down to your homework. I don't think anything about the independent practice was hard today based on what I saw from you guys. Introduction to angle homework. All right, so classify the following angles as acute, right, obtuse, straight, reflex, or full. All right, so this angle right here, I'm looking at it and I see that it is less than 90 degrees. All right, so if it were 90 degrees, it would go like this. So I know that it's between 0 and 90 degrees, and so I know that it is acute angle. All right, this angle looks to me like a straight line. All right, so I'm going to guess that this is a straight angle. Again, if this was a problem, I would want the problem to say this is a straight line. But in this case, we're going to assume. All right, here I have an angle that is more than 80 degrees, or sorry, more than 90 degrees, because this were my 90 degrees, and less than a straight line, so that's obtuse. All right, and here, I wish they had done this so that I knew that this was a right angle. All right, because it could be, if the circle had been around here, it could be a reflex angle. So that's why it's really important that when we give you those angles, we give you that indication. All right, here we have, this is done right, this is another right angle. Here we have another acute angle. So if this were to have been a 90-degree angle, it kind of would have come out like this, right? So this is acute. This angle in here, it's more than 90, less than 180. This is obtuse. Here we have a straight line. It's drawn correctly. They're telling me it's 180, so it's a straight line. This one, they're telling me it's 360. We went all the way around. Okay, so this is a full angle. And then here, oops. If it weren't for this circle here, I might assume that it wanted me to measure in here and say, oh, that's obtuse. But since I have the circle and it's telling me that this is a 230-degree angle, I know that this is a reflex angle. All right, so this was our super quick review on angles. I'm very excited for the angles that we're going to be working on over the next few days. Make sure that you have this vocabulary Really solid. So go through and study this page a little bit if you need a little extra help. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow.